live forever. You gotta love each other. Say you gotta live on forever. Yeah. And love one another. Boy, live on forever. Love each other. We gotta live on forever. And love one another. Oh yeah. Living and loving and sharing and No people come to Jamaica and not know how we live things. Say everything nice, true, we full of vibes and things. Them same one feel it to them heart when them get few understand the real thing. Yeah, me day at town one day, up with a white man we come all the way from Norway, and him turn to me and say, how comes Jamaica full of so much screw face? Same time I lift me head to the sky, and a teardrop fall from me high. Me say, man, you'd come and go out for a drive. Let me show you why me cry. Look on the gully side. Do you see anything to smile about? Look at that hungry child, yeah. Do you see anything to smile about? Look at the schools where you them go to get them education. Do you see anything to smile about? Look at the conditions of our police stations. Do you see anything to smile about? No. Same time the brother say, how can the nation be living this way? And the next thing him say, how can the government play so many games? Same time my heart fall to the ground, cause there's much more where that comes from. Certain place they are worse than slum. Youth man come and take a look on Riverton. Do you see anything to smile about? Look on Pienland, yeah. Do you see anything to smile about? Flankers, Mobe and Cyprus Heights in Spain. Do you see anything to smile about? What flats, Kent, Yamaton, they're all the same. Do you see anything to smile about? No, no. No, 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 no. Oh, no, no. Oh, no, no. No, when me say, no people come to Jamaica and not know how we live things. Say everything nice, true, we full of vibes and things. Them same one feel it to them heart when them get for you overstand the real thing. When them look on the gully side, them no see nothing they fi smile about. When them look on a hungry child, yeah. Them no see nothing they fi smile about. When them look on the schools where the youth them got to get them education, them no see nothing they fi smile about. When them sight up the condition of the police station, them no see nothing they fi smile about. My story say, me day at town one day, I par with a white man we come all the way from Norway. And him turn to me and say, how comes Jamaica full of so much screw face? Same time I lift me head to the sky, and a teardrop fall from me high. Me say, my youth come with God for a drive. Let me show you why me cry. Take a look on Riverton. Do you see anything to smile about? Look on Pienland. Do you see anything to smile about? Can't you bury me up there? March the road over Spain. Do you see anything?
Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection. We're coming to you live from the beautiful grounds of the Ligony Club in Kingston, Jamaica. This is your host, Minett Lawrence. Pastor Percival will be tuning in a little while, and we are delighted to be with you on this free-flowing Thursday. It's looking a little moody over here. First, you had really bright sunshine, and now there's a cloud across the face of the sun. But I expect it to be a beautiful day, and so should you. Welcome to those who have joined us on air, those who have joined us online. We are looking forward to be of service to you this morning. So please stay tuned as we take our first station break of the day.
We're just a click away. www.bessfm.com. Streaming live on the internet.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-Time Taxi Service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all. You can call us on 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Looking
Looking to clean your vehicle super clean? 123 Clean Car Wash, located at 2 1/4 Osborne Road, Kingston 10. Entrance on Grove Road, below Tropical Battery. They wash and vacuum, undercarriage wash, engine wash, polish and compound, shampoo and detailing. Call them at 876-631-3400. 123 Clean Car Wash, the best in the business for a cleaner wash.
Believe me, it's so easy.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi style?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, at 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
You big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
I try calling you, cause trust me.
Waiters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
Ah, what a relief.
Jamaica and the world. You want us back? We are back. The Breakthrough Deliverance Ministry, led by me, the prophet Mark Stewart, right here on Bess 100 FM. This and every Thursday night from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Yes, it's War Room Thursday. Come on out and join us, each and every one, on Bess 100 FM, 100.1, 357 and 9. Come on out. Join me, the prophet, Reverend Mark Stewart, and of course, the boss shot, Apostle Marshall. Come for your healing, breakthrough deliverance, the prayer, the miracle, the word, the testimony, and so much more. Yes, my friends, Bess 100 FM, Bess 100 FM, War Room Thursday, 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Join us. We are going to lick it till it busts.
Ready for the warfare. Ready for the warfare.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess 100.
The hottest radio station in the planet.
Bess FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica. Six 276-8935. That's 276-8935.
This is your beloved Pastor Percy from The Morning Connection. Support our commitment to Jamaica by joining us on Wednesday mornings at 7:30 when we pray for the nation. Show us you care. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office.
And thank you for joining us this Thursday morning. It is by far one of our favorite days of the week because no Pastor Percival. I used to ask my son, what's your favorite thing about school? Lunch. Lunchtime. He loved lunchtime.
Because he could run up and ball.
Not that. He was going to school like a prince.
delicious hot meal. Sometimes it was delivered at school. I was very careful about his diet. I was, anyway, lunchtime was his favorite time at school. I was always thought for paper and pudding. So well, all the snacks that were organized and all the different things. But no, Percy. We don't love Percy because of the delicious free food. JB's we love Thursday because we're outdoors. Jamaica breeze. That's safe for those who are online.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess 100.
The hottest radio station in the planet.
Bess FM.
We're all until the philosophy which hold one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned. Everywhere is war. It's a war that until they're no longer first class and second class citizens of any nation, until the color of a man's skin is of no more significance than the color of his eyes. Miss a war that until the basic human rights are equally guaranteed to all without regard to race. This a war that until that day the dream of lasting peace, world citizenship, rule of international morality will remaining but a fleeting illusion to be pursued but never attained. Now everywhere is war, war, and until the ignoble and unhappy regime that hold our brothers in Angola, in Mozambique, South Africa, subhuman bondage have been toppled, totally destroyed. Well, everywhere is war. Miss a war. War in the east, war in the west, war up north, war down south, war, war, rumors of a war. And until that day, the African continent will not know peace. We Africans will fight, we find it necessary, and we know we shall win, as we are confident in the victory of good over evil. Good over evil, yeah. Good over evil.
you Thursday morning, Free Flowing Thursday. It's being a little too free so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7 o'clock, and you've been just hearing mostly music, but we are here. And Percival came in with a big smile on his face. He had got a revelation, and the smile is still there. So you were sharing with me.
Yeah, man, it's a revelation of the goodness of God. A revelation that just comes out of Romans 8:28, and we know all things work together for the good to those who love God and those who are called according to His purpose. And yesterday was, boy, may I tell you, was a wonderful day. And just the whole thing up in everything, give thanks, for this is the will of God concerning you.
All right, we're moving from break to break. Yes, because we are scheduled
from glory to glory.
Yeah, we're scheduled to take a station break. And we're not going to miss out on it. So we're doing that now, Mr. Producer?
All right, we're going to the break.
Yes, all right, we'll be right. We'll be here when the studio gets back to us.
Oh, my Lord.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I've ever met. You're simply the best.
Best FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
Every year, thousands of Jamaicans travel to Canada to participate in the Seasonal Agricultural Workers Program, what we know locally as the Farm Work Program. Administered by the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, this program has transformed the lives of the men and women who go, allowing them to have stable incomes and take care of their families here on the island. In recent months, however, reports emerged that workers were enduring mistreatment and harsh working conditions, prompting the ministry to deploy a fact-finding team to investigate. The 7-member team, chaired by President of the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions, Helene Davis White, visited various farms between September and October 2022. Minister of Labor and Social Security Carl Samuda disclosed the team's findings in the House of Representatives on April 26, addressing first the overall treatment the workers have been experiencing.
Over 70% of respondents believe that the treatment from their employer was either good or very good. They felt that they were fairly treated, and rating increased to 90%. 90% felt that they were fairly treated. No, I am not saying that the place is perfect, by no means. But the fact of the matter is, when asked specifically if the farm owners treated them with respect, 87.1% said yes.
Minister Samuda says the data was gathered over a period using focus groups and one-to-one meetings with workers.
From our own assessment, we were able to observe a deep sense of pride and fulfillment among the vast majority of farm workers. 73.7% stated that they willingly worked on their days off in order to earn more money, not by force.
Over 70% of the workers are on contracts ranging from 5 to 8 months. Minister Samuda says the ministry is working to extend these arrangements.
85% said they were never transferred between farms during the period of their contract, and those who were transferred stated that transfers were due to the completion of work on their previous farm. 60% said they worked exclusively in the fields, 8.8% worked in greenhouses, 7.6% worked in packing houses. It's a variety of activities.
Another question put to the workers was whether they were asked to work while sick. Minister Samuda says, according to the data, the answer is no.
Approximately 93.6% said that they do not work when ill. If they're sick, they do not work. Yet the reports that you read say, oh, when they're sick, they're forced to work. Among those who work during illness, 21% said they did so because they feared of losing their jobs. 35% of respondents sought health care, and of that number, 10.4% said they did not receive access to health care. That is, 90% said they receive health care.
For those who didn't seek medical treatment while sick, their reasons included non-acceptance of health cards by doctors, exclusion of certain procedures from health coverage, and no insurance coverage, among other things.
In terms of living conditions that were condemned out of hand, conditions vary across Canada. In Ontario, most of the workers rated their living conditions as between good and very good. That's where the majority of farm workers are. 7% of respondents gave positive reviews of their housing and living conditions, with 30% saying they were excellent and 40% saying they were very good. In terms of cooking facilities, 30% said excellent and 48% said very good. In terms of bathroom facilities, 24% said excellent, 44.8% said good, a total of 69.2%.
Lastly, 95% of workers said the housing facilities were clean and prepared on their arrival. In light of the fact-finding team's report, the Labour Ministry has committed to improve the liaison services afforded to the farm workers, to ensure more regular checkups and to improve the overall quality of the program going forward. That's where we end our look into the fact-finding report on the Canadian Farm Work Program. I'm Andre Palmer. Thank you for listening.
A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
We're just a click away. www.bestfm.com. Streaming live on the internet.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all, you can call us on 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Looking to clean your vehicle super clean? 123 Clean Car Wash, located at 2 1/4 Osborne Road, Kingston 10. Entrance on Grove Road, below Tropical Battery. They wash and vacuum, undercarriage wash, engine wash, polish and compound, shampoo and detailing. Call them at 876-631-3400. 123 Clean Car Wash, the best in the business for a cleaner wash.
1, 2, 3, believe me, it's so easy. 1, 2, 3.
Veg Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Haggard Park Road. Veg Printers, your best choice in printing.
Half a tree. When I'm ready, 200. Ready, mama. Ready. Is this the confusion you feel when trying to work your way through medical systems in Jamaica? Try a dose of Ask Dr. Mary every Thursday at 5 to 6 p.m. Let Dr. Mary help you understand your medical problems and bring you to a calmer place.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. I invite you to join us for the Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ radio program with Elder Kendrick Murray, where we stand firm that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. This broadcast is heard every Saturday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. and again on Sundays from 4 to 5 p.m. The church is located at 3550 Pleasant Valley Road, here in Mobile, Alabama, in the United States. You may visit our website at sonofgodlives.org or our YouTube page at Minister K. Murray. Or you may call us at area code 251-300-8812. God bless you, and we look forward to you tuning in to the program.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi style?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
You big star. Yeah, man. Respect my boss.
Yeah, try calling her, cause trust me.
Waiters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
What a relief.
Yes, Jamaica and the world, you want us back? We are back. The Breakthrough Deliverance Ministry, led by me, the prophet Mark Stewart, right here on Bess 100 FM. This and every Thursday night from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Yes, it's War Room Thursday. Come on out and join us, each and every one, on Bess 100 FM, 100.1, 357 and 9. Come on out. Join me, the prophet, Reverend Mark Stewart, and of course, the boss shot, Apostle Marshall. Come for your healing, breakthrough, deliverance, the prayer, the miracle, the word, the testimony, and so much more. Yes, my friends, Bess 100 FM, Bess 100 FM, War Room Thursday, 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Join us. We are going to lick
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
God is a good day.
God is good.
God is good every day.
God is good every day.
I'm looking at the headlines this morning and wanting to congratulate the Integrity Commission for doing some work, but feeling very troubled in my spirit that they're bringing in all the small fry while the big fish is lying on the table spoiling. We are concerned about the Prime Minister's statutory declarations. Yeah. We are concerned about the parliamentarians who are under investigation and we're not hearing anything about it. And then we see them making decisions with regards to a councillor whose use of a motor vehicle with a concession aroused suspicion, and then about a bursar in a school and some other things which...
The bursar in the school, that's that Spanish town, they said the former principal.
Yeah, and there's something about a principal and a bursar.
Yeah.
We're not recommends action against former Spanish Town High principal and bursar. Now, we're not saying that these things are immaterial. But these things look way better when you are also taking care of the big stuff, and it then looks like some form of injustice. I remember challenging the Joint Select Committee to consider the way in which the work of the Integrity Commission becomes a weapon against others, and I was taken to task for my choice of words, but I say it again here. When I look and see a young councillor in a PNP councillor in St. Anne being for some it was going on and in handling of concession, got a motor vehicle. Someone else paid money the vehicle until a certain time. And it is, as I read it, narrative as approaching things in this the use of the concession, especially as a councillor with working in your things, and this from I think 2017. This commission official so swift was recommended.
You know, hold on. So long, but look at 14. 14 and yeah, so 20. So the question
too long. Too long for the Prime Minister. Some time for
say that Mr. I think incidental JTA found.
I don't remember if the ring for some in the content, you begin to, things are not random. Every mature person are not random. That man with the P councillor
to know commission. Good. Let them send doing because it has
dredging up these and the statutory declarations it's very, very trouble.
The commissioner PSOJ come on, no, you have to be very, because you
and the one
evil off.
Want to know Percival see is threatened about, and then it begins to, that looks like the agenda of you don't want to see this and immediately so they're and they begin to, is that what we're seeing? I don't even like to, I don't, because we looking to that institution carry a certain you don't want to see things that looks as favor with this. It is motor vehicle concession themselves. I mean, the government has now
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Until the philosophy which old one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned. Everywhere is war. It's a war that until they're no longer first class and second class citizens of any nation, until the color of a man's skin is of no more significance than the color of his eyes. Miss a war that until the basic human rights are equally guaranteed to all without regard to race. This a war that until that day, the dream of lasting peace, world citizenship, rule of international morality will remaining but a fleeting illusion to be pursued but never attained. Now everywhere is war, war, and until the ignoble and unhappy regime that hold our brothers in Angola, in Mozambique, South Africa, subhuman bondage have been toppled, totally destroyed. Well, everywhere.
Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us this morning. I just see Percy showing me what looks like breaking news. There's been a shooting at Mr. Montague's house.
You could come. Shooting at Montague's house.
When was that? Well, there was a shooting there. Yesterday?
The security that was stationed at his house accidentally discharged his firearm.
Oh. That's not that's an accidental discharge of firearm.
Yeah.
A shooting is when something or someone has been shot.
Yeah. That's what it is. Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought perhaps someone was injured. The new in the paper today, in the very small down the bottom page. What is this now? Gigi and Lady Allen off to England. Coronation time. You think they're gonna stay? Because as things are,
stay. Why?
Because they're gonna be unemployed. We're moving to Republic now. They have to negotiate the terms of their retirement from the King's service.
You know.
Governor General Sir Patrick Allen and Lady Allen will attend the coronation of King Charles III at Westminster Abbey on Saturday. That is 2 days from hence. 2023 Rhodes Scholar David Salmon will carry the Jamaica flag in the procession of Commonwealth Realm banners through the Abbey King's House, said on Wednesday. All these things are quite disgraceful at this time.
Disgraceful?
Yes.
What do you want them to do? You want them to do?
Keep quiet about it. I mean, I would just, you know.
We talk about constitution.
There's no pride in doing any of these things anymore. No.
It is not.
No.
No, it's not.
No. It is.
We have your word for it. It's no longer a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
But as we talk about constitutional reform, I saw where somebody sent out something that this evening there's a Zoom meeting that is being hosted by the inviting churches. So they might look at it and listen to it.
What is the notice? I mean, they just decided it's this evening. Are you going to go?
And go where? Yeah. It was posted in the Marriage Open. All farm committees invited me on some unity, on constitutional reform time, and that at this morning. There's no meeting.
Share the link.
10 o'clock. I'll send it to you so you can.
Well, we will have you could log on. We could see how they present.
That's interesting.
All right, off the way, because we are going to tests this morning. We'll tell you what's when we return from the break, and the second is Mrs. Lasson, the sitting of the Jamaica teachers, and we just wanted to visit some of the issues because
they're not going away,
and we want to do our part that the issues are resolved for the greater good of our child. 7:30, so stay with us, please.
We brought down 32 spaces in, you know that?
We're just a click away. www.bestfm.com. Streaming live on the internet.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all, you can call us on 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Looking to clean your vehicle super clean? 123 Clean Car Wash, located at 2 1/4 Osborne Road, Kingston 10. Entrance on Grove Road, below Tropical Battery. They wash and vacuum, undercarriage wash, engine wash, polish and compound, shampoo and detailing. Call them at 876-631-3400. 123 Clean Car Wash, the best in the business for a cleaner wash.
1, 2, 3, believe me, it's so easy. 1, 2, 3.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Haggard Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
Half a tree. 180, 200. Ready, mama? Ready. Is this the confusion you feel when trying to work your way through medical systems in Jamaica? Try a dose of Ask Dr. Mary every Thursday at 5 to 6 p.m. Let Dr. Mary help you understand your medical problems and bring you to a calmer place.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. I invite you to join us for the Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ radio program with Elder Kendrick Murray, where we stand firm that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. This broadcast is heard every Saturday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. and again on Sundays from 4 to 5 p.m. The church is located at 3550 Pleasant Valley Road here in Mobile, Alabama in the United States. You may visit our website at sonofgodlives.org or our YouTube page at Minister K. Murray. Or you may call us at area code 251-300-8812. God bless you, and we look forward to you tuning in to the program.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how do I take taxi star?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. You hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me send you.
You big star. Yeah, man. Respect my boss.
I try and call him, cause trust me.
Waiters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
What a relief.
Jamaica and the world, you want us back? We are back. The Breakthrough Deliverance Ministry, led by me, the prophet Mark Stewart, right here on Bess 100 FM. This and every Thursday night from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Yes, it's War Room Thursday. Come on out and join us, each and every one, on Bess 100 FM, 100.1, 357 and 9. Come on out. Join me, the prophet, Reverend Mark Stewart, and of course, the boss shot, Apostle Marshall. Come for your healing, breakthrough, deliverance, the prayer, the miracle, the word, the testimony, and so much more. Yes, my friends, Bess 100 FM, Bess 100 FM, War Room Thursday, 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Join us. We are going to lick
Bess 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
Live, camera, volume. Live It Up Fridays on Bess 100 FM. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with I, Ibi Lion, each and every Friday. Giving you the better vibes, heard everywhere.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Jesus. Welcome. Welcome back. Oh, Percy, the sun has returned. Look out there. How beautiful it is. I might need my sunshades.
They are floating across.
No, Percy, they're not floating. They're flying. Are you high? Oh my God! It's like when when they say you're tripping. Percy is tripping. All right. So, Miss Ruthlyn Johnson, the effervescent, glowing, high energy Ruthlyn is joining us this morning. The last time.
Give us an update on what has happened with this new implementation of this.
Yeah, she didn't get to tell us. What? She didn't get to tell us all that she came to share with us on the last occasion. So she's joining us again. One of the things that Jamaicans have to be very, very aware of is that your energy company is your most important partner of the future. I mean, it's just amazing how with technology... No, but the internet not going anywhere if you don't have energy to power it.
That's what people making it seem like.
Yeah, but your energy company. The truth is, the importance of the internet has increased then the importance of your energy partner.
Very much so. Very much so.
So, and I know it's kind of like someone said to me one time, you can't take you can't take the mother without the calf.
Oh.
So it was some mother calf combination that.
Do you know where that comes from though?
Animal farm, animal husbandry.
No, his husbandry. You want the lady,
animal husbandry.
You want the lady, but you don't want the calf.
Yeah, you can't get the mother without the calf. Right. She not leave her calf. So if you want the mother, please make room for the calf.
That is something that goes out all of them.
Yeah.
So the calf also, so you get that. That's what happens.
Yeah, that's what that friend said it to me about the mother and the calf. And this mother had several calves.
Oh, geez.
And so it was like one really big happy family. But the point I was making is that the importance of technology in our everyday living
becomes so important.
Has made the energy that powers it more important. Because you love the one so much that anything that is needed to keep it going, you gotta have it. I mean, you remember Wayne telling us how Wayne had set up his solar panel to charge the phone. No, I don't think he would have ventured into those waters if the phone wasn't so important. And that's just kind of one of those lessons that tells you when you really need something, you go all out, you go the extra mile. So JPS is a partner like no other in this season, and we need to understand what they do, how they do it. When they need support, we need to give it, and when there are issues that need to be resolved, we have to come to the table with sincerity and with integrity and sort things out. I am indebted to the program they do with us, because I learned through that program that the high cost of energy, what we feel on the bill when we get it, it's not their fault. I used to think, but government policy plays 100% role in determining your source of energy, how efficient it is, the diversity of it, and the pace at which things happen. The procurement of critical equipment is handled through a government procurement process. It's not the JPS people jumping on a plane or calling the ships or handling any of that. They have to go through a process that is controlled by government. This government is way too intrusive in some of these things, they need to back up.
You to leave it alone?
No, not alone. Not alone. You don't need to leave it alone for it to be effective. You need to be
I'm trying to find in my loop news.
Yes.
The thing in terms of the Prime Minister and what he was saying in terms of the new energy.
Oh,
thing,
the policy, energy policy.
And saying, because remember, the opposition spokesman on finance had made the call and said the last time we did a call and revise it was so and so, and he was saying, no, if you're going for it, you need to look at it. So the Prime Minister, and I think in responding to that call, is now saying we have to think of in terms of the energy mix, nuclear power. So they have got in touch with the international, the Atomic Energy Authority in terms of what are the possibilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why you're busy running your own show in the corner.
And that's running the show. I'm just trying to supplement, to back up my friend. Yeah. In terms of what you're saying in terms of JPS go. So they have
it is the next government of the day that will carry that responsibility.
I like you.
Yes, Miss Ruth Lynn Johnson is joining us. She's the Customer Service Area Manager for the East, which includes Kingston and St. Andrew. And she will be sharing on the topic of electricity, safety, and power lines. Remember that those gentlemen had come to us. They had their conference, which placed the pole. Now it's all about the power lines.
The power line.
Yeah.
Because there's something about JPS going to increase in workplace safety. There's something loop news about that.
Okay.
That new push by them. So.
But understand that these are the issues of the day as we draw closer to June when the hurricane season begins.
Yeah, that's true.
So she's going to be talking to us about their policy and procedures dealing with trees, the flying of kites. Kite season still going? People still flying kites? Or in Jamaica it's all year? As long as there's a draft. Yeah, because Easter is in the tailwind. The flying of kites, operating equipment in the vicinity of the lines, carrying out construction, and what to do when faced with downed power lines. Honestly, sometimes...
Who's
a kite? You?
I know we're flying a kite. Just finished. Flying a kite this morning.
No, flying a kite this morning. Yeah, so we're looking forward to that.
Okay.
Safety issues are of paramount concern, not just to the company, because clearly they are the ones who would be primarily liable when issues arise, but important for us too, the citizens. When lines go down by reason of mishaps, misadventures on the system, and you lose electricity. The other day in our neighborhood, I don't know if it was happening as far up the hill as you are, but we were getting multiple power surges. In fact, yes, to the point where our generator kept coming in, and Lowell had to be reassuring me. When the power gets to a certain quality, when it dips too low, the generator will come in, even though there isn't a power cut, because we didn't actually have a power outage.
But it wasn't constant.
Yes, it was so erratic.
Up and down.
Yeah, right. So that was happening, and even though you have the capacity to power your critical things in an outage, it's still not what you desire. So it's good that all of us, the more educated and aware we are of these things, I think in the overall, the better it will be.
I remember this expression as we talk about flying a kite.
That's not me talking about flying a kite.
You remember producer, you go fly beige kite and we make kite and the bamboo and your grease paper.
What is a beige kite? What's a beige kite?
It's a big kite. Grease paper, bamboo frame.
Why is it called beige?
We just go for here that call it beige, so let's say a bus like beige kite.
So all right, so the first time I hear about beige kite is in one of Lady Saw's songs. She said something about a beige kite, and I thought it was a reference to something from Barbados.
No.
Can you say Bajan?
No, it's a beige kite.
So somebody please...
When it start singing, when it up there and it catch you in the air.
I'm going to rely on Mr. Earl Brown, who knows all kinds of things Jamaican, to tell me what is a beige kite and why.
No, you remember
why it named beige kite?
Down and we have this big open area, and then you know what we used to do? They try to like the whole time. And then you know when you want to cut you off the friend, yes man, put a razor up on the tail of the kite and you.
So what's with the razor will cut other people's kite? Oh my gosh! Now, even in kite flying, there's skullduggery.
She lets skullduggery.
Look at somebody kite that them spend all the time making.
And then they just bust it. This kite gone.
Alright, well, so I thought beige kite meant something from Barbados.
Yes, that's why they're talking to us about.
That's why kite flying, is it? Especially if you have a razor on the tail of the kite.
Yeah, you're going that and you have to be careful. Like you don't get caught up. And all of this money, you know.
On the kite?
Yeah.
Yes, so that's so why so why would you sabotage somebody's kite? That's all me getting out of this discussion.
You put it together. Yeah, man. Grease paper and just pick it up. Yeah, man.
All right. Yesterday, you and I wanted to talk a little bit about. It was International Press Freedom Day.
Yes.
We didn't get to say much about it because we were busy taking on some other issues. But Free Flowing Thursdays when we circle these things and get back on it. Freedom of expression, one of the guaranteed constitutional rights, is something that has always been under challenge. It's always under pressure in society. Everywhere it's always under pressure because look at even on our show, one caller will say, when I say something and somebody come back and try to criticize or challenge, I am free to say and to think. And you have this constant tension between how the expression of or the enjoyment of one's freedom can impinge on another person's freedom, because when we don't even want to hear the things with which we disagree. We don't even want to hear it. We have no tolerance for things that we find disagreeable. And just that lack of tolerance is an infringement on another man's freedom to speak, because when you have power, and this is really where the rubber meets the road, it's quite harmless to display that lack of tolerance when you have no power or authority to put force behind your words.
Okay.
Make sense? I can always fight with you over, you shouldn't say that and why you said that. But if I have the ability to send a policeman to bring you in because you said it.
Yeah, remember that. Remember,
of course.
I did talk about Integrity Commission and the poor pastor was saying. You remember?
There was the pastor whom you went to when I met you in those early days. You were the crusader to go get him out of prison, out of lockup.
The major organized crime.
Yeah. Because he spoke. And what he said was disagreeable to a man who had the authority to let loose the dogs, but
no, to let loose.
And then you had the poor youngster who had said some unpleasant things too, and the police went and had him in his underwear being frog marched.
Yeah. What did he do?
He spoke freely. Yes. So I tell you, everywhere you go, your freedom of expression is under threat one way or another. But it becomes a matter of concern when persons have power and authority with which they can impose their own thinking on others. So why
an authoritarian regime, you don't want to say, you don't want to say anything, you want to think different from groupthink, which is, you know that they talk about press freedom and the freedom of expression, that became a major thing with COVID, you know.
Yes.
Lockdown people that because they had a different narrative to what you wanted to push, and now it has emerged, voila.
And you penalize them commercially, politically. Because
profession, you say, all right, you're carrying because you're spreading disinformation and misinformation.
And so it's a big deal, and it's important that even when you're talking about constitutional reform and what you want to see in your country, you must have a good understanding of these essential freedoms which form the platform or the foundation for other freedoms to emerge. Freedom of expression deals with your artistic freedom. Can I think imaginatively and creatively to generate wealth? It is one of the ways, it's one of the freedoms that is closely aligned to cultural expressions. Am I free to speak in my native, the language of my conscience?
No.
The language of my mother's breast. Those freedoms are not confined to political dissension and what the lack of morality that you might find in the songs and the things that people might say stir up violence and incite disorder. The censorship that you practice in those areas is not divorced. It's not divorced from what you are seeking to generate in wealth creation. The Press Association, or whatever they call themselves, yesterday they made the comment that they found the Broadcasting Commission's directive against the proliferation of songs or the broadcasting of songs that glorify scamming and violence and so on. They found it disturbing. Yes, it is. They saw it as a move in an unfortunate direction, and they are right. They're right. We can never be distracted by the fact that we happen to agree with a thing. Today you agree with it because they use it for a purpose that is in alignment with your sentiments. But the very fact that they had to use that method at all is what is scary, because today it is to shut down nasty songs. Let's just use that phrase. Tomorrow it is to deal with what books are in school. You're quite fine with it when the book they're trying to shut out is about LGBTQ matters, which you share that objection. But tomorrow, when it is about Christianity and freedom of religion, you're going to feel very differently about it. It's the same tool, the same weapon being used in a way that prejudices someone. You hear me talk all the time about the ineffectiveness of using law and a big stick to handle matters of morality.
I've heard you speak about it.
I know that is not in the will of God. I know. It's why He gave us free will, because He always wants us to choose, not be compelled, coerced, or pounded into submission by force of law. He wants us to choose. So man cannot be smarter than God. God decides, I create you in this way. I give you the capability to come to the right conclusion in the right way. Man cannot be better with his strategy, that he now decides that I want you to come to the right conclusion through force and compulsion. So I know that it is not the perfect will of God for us to beat each other into submission and into right behavior. How do you even know that the person has been converted if you have to keep a whip over their back? So the Press Association made that comment. It is like the last line of their statement, or of the report on their statement, that they were disturbed. This morning you said to me, did you notice how many places we fell on the index for freedom of expression? We fell like 12 spots. Is it 12 or 10? Whatever it is, Jamaica has fallen. Jamaica has fallen. Why have we fallen? People need to examine it, because you don't see anybody beating journalists or shutting them out of events or so on. What you are seeing is of a different, more insidious order, and we've got to be careful about it.
Which is what? That the press been bought out, that them carry a certain narrative and they don't think differently.
There you go.
You think that's what it is?
Yeah, that's what I see. I see specially curated headlines. I see selective reporting. I see silence on some issues that you thought everybody would be scrambling over it. You see a lack of interest in pursuing things that are of fundamental importance to the welfare of the nation. Nobody is interested in the truth. Everybody is prepared to take the dollar and say what you want to hear.
How much you?
Yeah.
You pay me to shut my mouth.
Yes, that's right along there with the selling of the votes. You know that when you sell your vote, that's you're selling your freedom of expression.
Mm-hmm. So we never made the correlation a long time ago, but we started down that road when you could buy a man vote, you pay him, and do you know that in past elections what would happen? I would pay you not to go and vote, because I know you would have vote, or you'd vote.
Oh, you would vote, right.
I just pay you. And that happened in a lot of elections.
Different, other side of the same coin.
No, but here's what happened. So I pay you not to vote, but to make sure that you not take my money. And you would have the ink.
You put ink on the finger.
Right. No, them have the same ink answer themselves.
Yeah.
You can't change your mind. But the question is, when are we going to wake up to the reality that, hold on, if you don't say something now, if you don't speak what the truth really is and allow the freedom of people to speak, in a problem. And we've not looked at what has happened in the fucking with Dr. Carlson, but you know what happened. He would just
say anything.
Not only say anything, but pursue things and say, when we come to the place that I know I'm going to be attacked and so on, I still have to speak it, because I have to say it, even though it might not go along with the same narrative, I need to say it.
Time to take our break. Our freedom of expression is hereby curtailed. All right, we'll come back in a little while.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I've ever met. You're simply the best.
Best FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
Hello, I'm Moira Alderson with the BBC News. The latest ceasefire in Sudan appears to be in tatters as heavy fighting is continuing. Witnesses said they heard loud explosions and gunfire on the streets of the capital, Khartoum. Heavy bombardments also rang out in the adjoining cities of Omdurman and Bahri. The army said it would respect a new 7-day ceasefire starting today, but there's been no response from the rival paramilitary group, the Rapid Support Forces. Paul Adams is in Nairobi.
As I scroll through social media accounts in Sudan, you see a torrent of imagery, of rhetoric, all of which is about which side is inflicting more damage on which. So you do not get the impression at all that the leaderships on either side are moving or trying to nudge their followers towards some kind of accommodation. You feel almost the exact opposite. They're still in the early phases of a duel to the death.
President Volodymyr Zelensky has called for a fully fledged tribunal to hold Russia accountable for its war of aggression against Ukraine in a speech at The Hague. He was speaking after visiting the International Criminal Court in the same city. Danny Aberhard reports.
This is a visit packed with symbolism. Mr. Zelensky met senior officials at the International Criminal Court. In March, the court issued arrest warrants for President Putin and his Children's Rights Commissioner on suspicion of unlawful deportation of children from Ukraine. Mr. Zelensky rammed home his pursuit of justice with a speech straight afterwards, calling for an end to impunity. He referenced crimes in Ukraine, but also the downing of flight MH17, tapping into Dutch anger over that crime. Mr. Zelensky also wants arms. He's been holding talks with Prime Minister Mark Rutte to push for further military backing.
The United States has dismissed an accusation from Russia that it was to blame for Wednesday's alleged drone attack on the Kremlin. The national security spokesman John Kirby said the claim was false and that Washington did not encourage or enable Ukraine to strike outside its borders. Earlier on Thursday, the Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said Washington had masterminded the attack and Kyiv had implemented it. Tens of thousands of Israelis are holding another day of protests against government plans to overhaul the judiciary. Roads have been blocked as part of the protests, while activists have been holding demonstrations outside the homes of cabinet ministers, as well as the offices of state religious institutions. The Israeli army says its forces have killed 2 Palestinian gunmen accused of killing a British-Israeli woman and her 2 daughters in the occupied West Bank last month. The military raid took place in Nablus, where Israeli forces surrounded 2 houses in the old city. Local people reported hearing an explosion. World News from the BBC. A Lebanese judge who's led an anti-corruption drive against top officials and banks has been removed from office. The dismissal of Ghada Aoun comes as Lebanon continues to suffer one of its worst ever economic crises. Sebastian Usher reports.
As she left the session of the Lebanese judiciary's disciplinary council that dismissed her, Ghada Aoun said that she was being punished for doing her job. She said that the council accused her of bias over comments that she'd made about corrupt officials. The council has not given an official reason for its decision, but a senior judicial source has said that it was a unanimous vote after numerous complaints were filed against Ms. Aoun over her investigations. Many Lebanese who've all but lost their bank deposits during the financial crisis see Ms. Aoun as a champion against the elite. She's taken on some of the most powerful establishment figures in Lebanon.
The Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban has told a meeting of far-right politicians in Budapest to look to his country as a model for nationalists all over the world. Nick Thorpe has this report.
Viktor Orban is the poster boy of right-wing politicians around the world, and the Conservative Political Action Conference, known by its initials, CPAC, is his chance to speak to his admirers. Progressive liberal laboratories, he said in his keynote speech, have launched a virus against our nations, which aims to pulverize them. Migration, gender and the woke movement are all variants of that virus, he added. Hungary is the only country in Europe where CPAC gatherings are held, and over 2 days, conservative and nationalist politicians from many countries are holding talks in Budapest.
Pakistan's military says 6 soldiers have been killed in a gunfight with militants in the northwest. It said 3 assailants also died in the violence in the mountainous Waziristan area. Pakistani Taliban insurgents ended a ceasefire in November. BBC News.
We're just a click away. www.bestfm.com. Streaming live on the internet.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-Time Taxi Service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all, you can call us on 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Looking to clean your vehicle super clean? 123 Clean Car Wash, located at 2 1/4 Osborne Road, Kingston 10. Entrance on Grove Road, below Tropical Battery. They wash and vacuum, undercarriage wash, engine wash, polish and compound, shampoo and detailing. Call them at 876-631-3400. 123 Clean Car Wash, the best in the business for a cleaner wash.
1, 2, 3, believe me, it's so easy. 1, 2, 3.
Veg Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Veg Printers, your best choice in printing.
Glory connect! Glory connect!
Connect. Join us on Bess FM with Apostle Prophetess Denise Wellington and Pastor Alicia Gonzalez Morgan. Every Saturday at 4 p.m. on Bess FM Radio. Come out and discover your purpose. Take up that phone and dial now. Call and experience something new. Experience something great. Experience your own expression of encountering the supernatural glory of God's abundant life and transformation being fulfilled. What are you waiting for? Are you depressed, oppressed, worn out, tired, or stressed? Have you discovered your true purposes yet? This is the moment. What are you waiting for? Connect now to Glory Connection. Call and experience the Word of God, intercession, healing, and deliverance. Experience something great. Receive salvation and breakthrough. Connect. Tell a friend, family, and your neighbor. See you then.
Half a tree. 180, 200. Ready, mama. Ready. Is this the confusion you feel when trying to work your way through medical systems in Jamaica? Try a dose of Ask Dr. Mary every Thursday at 5 to 6 p.m. Let Dr. Mary help you understand your medical problems and bring you to a calmer place.
Yes, indeed, it's redemption time with Apostle Clive Campbell, presenting a life-changing, life-challenging message to encourage, inspire, and motivate you towards your destiny. Every Tuesday night from 9:30 p.m. until 12:30 a.m. and on Saturday from 9 o'clock until 10, right here on Best 100 FM. It's redemption time.
I'm standing firm. Half a tree, 100, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi start?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
You big star. Yeah, man. Respect my boss.
Yeah, try and call him, cause trust me.
Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
What a relief.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back. Yeah, we were speaking in some depth on the significance of the freedom of expression. I started with freedom of expression because the freedom of the press is just one strand of that freedom of expression. So you have freedom of expression given to you by your creator in what we all generally call free will. You have a general freedom to think, to act, to take decisions in your best interest, and to express yourself in accordance with the spiritual giftings with which you are born. That is the freedom of expression. Counter to the freedom of expression is the awareness that a repressed individual is a danger both to himself and to society. A person who does not feel or is given the opportunity to expel, to put into the world what he's carrying, will become sick, will become violent, will become unfruitful. It would be as if you got pregnant and you were not able to deliver. The child would die inside your body, pollute your body, and ultimately destroy your life. Not so?
True.
Yeah.
But as you speak about freedom of expression, yesterday the Prime Minister wants to talk.
He was freely expressing himself.
The false news on government. And I think his focus was being out in the media. There's so much thing about this wage thing and what they do.
We're going to come to that because we thank God for what is that now, the 5th or the 6th estate, the unprincipled, lawless jungle of the internet.
Yes.
Because while it obviously has its dangers, it remains now the pretty much the only place of freedom, really. Because though they can censor it and drag it down as quickly as you put it up, at least it can breathe for 2 seconds before it's taken down. But before we go there, I wanted to move us from divine rights and entitlements to what happens in society when man step forth in community and these freedoms are coming in conflict. So
balance.
Yeah. So
the arbitrator of that.
So I was looking at putting for you to consider. I was looking at the man who expresses himself freely and the blessing that he can be to society through all that he represents, generating wealth, creating and providing entertainment, allowing a certain joy and brightness to fill the atmosphere, like an Oliver Samuel. Oh my goodness, perfect example.
I hope you watched Guilty with Explanation. That's
an episode of his.
And it's a play.
Okay.
Got a character about it.
Is that recent? A recent play? Oh no, I haven't seen anything recently.
Yeah, man, he's there at the court. So we from start.
Percy messed starting to like you know. You hear where we're going. Percy them have date night. You couldn't when you drive down the hill past the Lawrences, knowing that we're not doing much. You could say, Minett, Michelle and I are going to a play. Let Daniel stay with Jonte. And make we just do a thing.
Alright, I remember that.
Please remember that. We have to be encouraged. Lowell and I don't go out much out of habit that we need to be jolted out of it every now and then.
Okay, I remember
we need to. You there with your high life.
High life, you come. Do I your expression of things of jealousy?
Your high life. You can invite us out, man.
Alright, so you may not eat ice cream again. We say, come here.
Oh, please. There are some people who love ice cream, myself included. In our household. Yeah, but okay, so you get the picture of just how much vibrancy and life the people who are allowed to express themselves, how much they bring, the color they bring to society. On the other hand, you have the repressed individual, the one whose expressions are under a lid, and he becomes a different kind of animal to society. Violent, depressed, angry, all those things. So you can see why the Lord designed us to be expressive, to put out, to not keep within that which is meant to flow freely into the atmosphere. So that's the first position that you begin at. Then walk with me, man. I'm only gonna take like 2 minutes. All right, I'm gonna run now. Run with me. So you have that in one basket, and then you look at how do we safely enjoy these freedoms. There are some offshoots that emerge. You have the press. For you to freely express yourself, you need good information on a regular basis given to you in ways that makes it credible, and you can consume and put it into your pot and give off a different flavor. So the media becomes an important part of enjoying that freedom. The other thing that's an important part is the transmission or the mechanisms by which you get the word out. So I have an idea, I speak it to the 10 people who can hear me, but there are a million people in my country who would enjoy that idea. So you have radio and broadcasting and so on, and those are regulated by government because you don't want everybody jamming up the airwaves, and next thing you know, fight a broke over who shut down whose, because those things become an impingement on your freedom. When we were going into the liberalization of the telecom sector, a very old case that I think is out of Zimbabwe, and that case was like the prime case that those who wanted greater freedoms would use. It was a case in which the Supreme Court, the court came to the conclusion that if you restrict the licensing of telecommunications facilities, you were in fact restricting a man's freedom of expression. So now your freedom includes not just what you can say with the tongue God give you, but how you can manipulate equipment and energies around you to say it to as many people as possible and to facilitate others in having it. It is why now today the United Nations declared that access to the internet is a human right because it gives you freedom of expression. Freedom of expression is tied up with learning, the education you get, because the coaching and the preparation of the mind and the teaching of new skills allow you to express yourself differently and more fruitfully. So when it comes to the media and how we treat the media and how the media sees itself, if the media allows itself to be bought, corrupted, manipulated, controlled, they're not just denying themselves their own freedom, but they're affecting mine and yours, because now I can't trust the news when I repeat the foolishness they print or take it as truth and begin to make decisions and create opinions based on it.
So that is where misinformation and
disinformation come in.
And so a caller normally refers to somebody as the Minister of Information.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So
and remember, I know it's a strategy in terms of what to do with propaganda. You keep, it's not true.
But you put it out there.
And you put it out there to create another narrative.
Yeah.
So it distracts people from going after the truth and what is truly happening. So we saw it in place. But you remember we went to Integrity Commission.
Yes, that Joint Select Committee.
And with all of what was said by Greg Christian, so the only thing that was reported, do you remember?
Oh yes, and it seemed to me that it was prearranged.
Yes, it was in here because
the question was asked, and the question was asked carefully.
Yes,
and the answer came out.
Yeah.
And even as the answer was being, some were saying, no, remember the media is here and the thing is.
Yeah, so
that was the headline.
And so when we talk about freedom of the press, we saw, and I cannot forget what happened with COVID. And we were saying, okay, we're not going to get into the thing about whether they vaccine or not, but we were saying people need to be informed about the consequences and be free to make choices. Yeah. I remember it was said they were kind of scientists.
We were called pseudo-intellectuals and false prophets.
Because I read somewhere that after a time, the mainstream said this is the narrative we can. Everybody needs to get vaccinated, whatever the consequences to themselves. And it was the press that carried it.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah. Today's media is discussed as being an important part of an important institution in reinforcing democracy.
That's correct.
Clearly
reinforce autocracy, authoritarian regimes.
It can raise up and it can pull down just by how it performs. Ownership of the media. I mean, when you did you do political science? I mean, I just did a little bit.
I never did it.
Okay. Well, you know the key ingredients for an effective coup. You must have the military, because you need gun power.
Yes.
You must own a media house of some sort. You need the radio, so your media is comprised of both broadcast, so people can hear when you take over and declare that you're the new general. A coup has taken place. Critical. Those were the two things you needed. I mean, of course, you need the propaganda machinery. But if you want to take over a country, you have to have a broadcast tool and a military tool.
We talk about press freedom.
Go into it, sir. I see you have the Proverbs up there.
The Proverbs, boy, it's amazing. You know what he said just a long time. It's 607, and he says, hold on.
Back to the things that God hates.
Yes, the press is important to him, and what happens? A proud look, a lying tongue, heart that craves, feet that runs swiftly, and a false witness who
breathes out lies,
even half-truth, and one who spread discord rumors amongst them. So
the press.
In terms of the seven, in terms of the seven, three things are related to what you say, the lying tongue,
the expression that he gave us so freely.
Oh my Lord.
We can lie, tell half-truths, and run around spreading rumors and gossiping.
So this thing of press freedom and freedom of expression.
And by the way, Percy, we fell 20 points, 20 places.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, from 12 to 32.
Yeah. Who was it that spoke? Let's see. They had the
Derek doctor.
No man, Leslie. What's his name? Lester Spalding. Lester Spalding commemorative lecture, the inaugural one, the first one, was on. It's World Press Freedom Day, is what it was. I was calling it International Press or Freedom, whatever. The lecture was given by Dr. Patrick Prendergast, campus director at University of the West Indies. I want to quote from what he's reported to have said, commenting on the 20 place fall, Jamaica falling in the index. I pledge to that. And if I were Prime Minister, I would take it very hard.
Yeah,
well, depending on where you stand, you might say, "Oh, I succeeded in shutting them down." But well, if that was your mission,
I know,
so much concern is given about what people say and how they say it, and so clearly there is a disturbance in the spirit. And you just quoted him as saying
that when he was talking about
TikTok,
when he was launching Labor Day, that's what it was.
Okay.
Loop News, and he was saying, "Let me stop there. PM warns TikTok
YouTube creators from spreading false news on government." It should be just false news, full stop, because it don't matter if it's on government or on the environment. Yes, he's taking it personally. Anyway, Dr. Prendergast said, "This significant drop should result in individuals pausing to ask, what is happening? As it was particularly concerning, especially when we consider the humongous drop in the legislative index. So I say to us, look at the report, look at the indices, and see where there may be something there to follow through on." You would need to read a lot more of what he's saying here. But Jamaicans need to pause and say, what is happening?
What caused this?
Yes.
What are the factors that have caused?
He did turn the spotlight on journalists. In truth, he says journalists would have to continue to operate in a world where an overwhelming number of ordinary people have easy access to new technologies. So the journalist is now under great competition from the same YouTube and TikTok creators. And so this is his comment, many of these new media content creators, influencers, information generators themselves have no care about the tenets of journalism, ethics, legality, the elements of news, proximity, responsibility, credibility, the importance of context, and the agenda-setting functions of news media. But citizens, journalists should never go away. Now, here's a thing that always puzzles me. We elevate certain things and create industries and professions, and we raise it to the top and say, this is a professional in this or that area. The rest of us are, in the meantime, living life, doing the same things in small quantities and pockets all over the place. I get my news from my neighbor, who might get her news from another neighbor, and so it comes.
That person.
Absolutely.
Like when I read the Bible some other times, I'm wondering how that news travels so fast. Like it just said about that Jesus will come, and it
before you know it, a multitude is gathered in a remote place.
Yeah, amazing.
So it's kind of ironic that now technology is allowing us to gossip more publicly. Let's put it that way. All of a sudden, remember now, the media professional pulls his story out of the gossip. Because they don't make it up, although sometimes it looks as if they do.
It's too hard to believe.
All of a sudden, the wellspring from which news emerge is too polluted to be given any credibility. I think persons need to adjust their mind to accepting that, just like how technology will render certain professions obsolete, journalism is one of them that is on the way out, because freedom of expression is more important than journalism. Journalism is we're not journalists. Every time people say the journalist thing, I'm like, no, you're looking at the wrong person. I'm not a journalist. I'm someone who's sharing my opinions and my views. If you like them, sure. If you don't,
and we come out of certain principles. But one of the things that I would love, though,
yes,
is just going back to that passage that we pulled from. Make sure in your sending is not, tell lie or half. To lie upon people and not doing discard because we're just spreading.
And many times what's reported on by the journalists, a web or a tissue of lies, confusion, misinformation, dressed up to look like truth. And when they do the apology and the retraction, it's in the fine print at the bottom of the page, and the damage has already been done.
So that's why they're going to lose them more.
We need to guard freedom of expression over and above the methodologies and the journalists and so on, because if we look to the journalists, we are going to find ourselves shut down and shut up. Like right now, the producer is telling us that it's time for a break.
We're just a click away. www.bestfm.com. Streaming live on the internet.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all, you can call us on 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Looking Looking to clean your vehicle super clean? 123 Clean Car Wash, located at 2 1/4 Osborne Road, Kingston 10. Entrance on Grove Road, below Tropical Battery. They wash and vacuum, undercarriage wash, engine wash, polish and compound, shampoo and detailing. Call them at 876-631-3400. 123 Clean Car Wash, the best in the business for a cleaner wash.
Believe me, it's so easy.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Haggard Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
Glory Connect. Join us on Bess FM with Apostle Prophetess Denise Wellington and Pastor Alicia Gonzalez Morgan. Every Saturday at 4 p.m. on Bess FM Radio. Come out and discover your purpose. Take up that phone and dial now. Call and experience something new. Experience something great. Experience your own expression of encountering the supernatural glory of God's abundant life and transformation being fulfilled. What are you waiting for? Are you depressed, oppressed, worn out, tired, or stressed? Have you discovered your true purposes yet? This is the moment. What are you waiting for? Connect now to Glory Connection. Call and experience the Word of God, intercession, healing, and deliverance. Experience something great. Receive salvation and breakthrough. Connect. Tell a friend, family, and your neighbor. See you then.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning. Good morning sounded bright and happy. Yes. I wanted to respond to it. Oh my goodness, we are so pleased to have Ruthlyn Johnson in the house. Don't forget drum rolls for you. And you wore my favorite color, you wore your red. Oh, I'm in the red pants, can't be seen. But you were my favorite color. When I think of you, that's what I think of you in red. Because I think the first time, I was missing it. I was missing it last time. I feel just glowing with all the energy she carries. Ruthlyn gave me a joke. Listen, I'm doing my best to figure out how I can tastefully share the joke. Because we were talking about freedom of expression and loving the way that, that freedom is a part of what allows us to maintain good health. And she encouraged me to follow JPS page. But it sounds to me that it seems to me that JPS page on social media should be censored, because she said that Jamaicans can give some responses. Strong and passionate or people. Anyway, be kinder to JPS. When they say good morning, say good morning.
It's a lovely day.
Yes. Do not tell them to go and do unspeakable things. Anyway, welcome. No, nobody, they know better than to tell me that kind of thing. We'll ban them. I'm kidding. My producer have a way of dealing with those who disturb the peace of the realm. Thank you. But welcome, my dear. Thank you for having me again. Yes. I do enjoy coming down here and chatting with you face to face. Well, giving you some laughter, some energy. I bring the energy. I work at the energy company. Can't help myself.
You've recovered after the lockdown and
of the system, and it's come back up with greater energy.
Right. So what's good about that, is that it took us about 4 or 5 days because we were like searching for, will you find this again, where's that?
Yeah.
But guess what? We're good now.
You're good now.
Even me.
Okay.
Because my team went to more training sessions than I did.
Right.
But I'm now in the
fully
group.
caught up.
And there's some key things about the new system that make life easier. Because, for example, you can do favorites. You can pick things that your frequently used applications within the system. You can pick them and you have them up at the top of your screen as your favorite, so you don't have to go searching for them.
Okay.
That makes life so easy. So when somebody calls, I can just click on that little button at the top and you can change it to whatever icon you want.
Okay.
So it's really, really good. So technology brings some good advantages there. So I'm enjoying using the new system now.
All right. What can I tell you? You said I must check to see, and
yes.
you got a very cheerful good morning, Mrs. Ruthlyn Johnson.
Hi, morning.
So you don't have to
from
Canada.
yeah.
Nice.
See?
Hi, Miss Canada.
Mr.
Canada.
Mr. Canada. Why am I thinking it's a lady?
I have no idea.
Hi, Mr. Canada.
Our show is very popular with the men.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. All right. Okay. Let's get down to some business before JPS don't send you back. You set the schedule, or you set the schedule and the energy. Yeah, but we're getting close to the month of June, hurricane season.
Yes.
And there are some things that I know you want to bring to
just around the corner.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah, because who knows that May 1 is in the rearview mirror. So
when May 1 came, I thought
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So June 1 is around the corner, and what we want to talk about this morning is the trees and the power line.
Yeah, safety.
Because we have this problem, right? Hurricane is on its way to Jamaica. Hurricane is number 354 kilometers. And, the media, the radio station starts telling you really need to do something because it's really
prepare.
It's going to.
Yes.
Guess what? The lines are blowing up. You can come and cut this tree for me. This branch is there.
Okay.
Where have you been all this time? You cannot call us at that time to come and cut the tree. That time we're now in preparation mode. The teams are now getting ready. The guys are putting their stuff. We're packing the trucks. We're doing everything. People are going across, for example, over to St. Thomas because you want to make sure that if there's a breakaway of the bridge, you can have a view on the other side already.
Right.
We don't have time to come and cut trees for you.
So that makes me ask, do you keep houses in St. Thomas, so you put your team in a house?
Okay.
It just struck me that
to go over the bridge.
Yes, you have to get them on the other side.
They do that with material.
Right.
So material over to places where there may be a problem.
Yeah, the Office of Disaster Preparedness is also supposed to maintain stores at different parts of the island. So you have stores. You have to.
Okay, so I understand that.
At undisclosed locations. So customer. Yes. Yeah. So you don't want the consumers to know where the stores are.
You have people who, when the grid goes on, they're very keen on seeing what they can get.
Yes.
Because they know that time it's not energized.
It's not energized, so you can
not. Because you never know, it could be energized.
It could be.
So that's one other thing with the fact why I don't leave them alone. No?
Don't touch anything. Don't touch any cold wires. Anything. That's really what you should do.
Yeah.
Because you never know. But the trees.
So the trees.
See, the thing is that a lot of our people, they plant their trees. Fruit trees are nice, wonderful. We love our mangoes, we love our pear, we love our whatever, avocado, whatever. The thing is, if you have those trees that will go to great heights, don't plant them under the power lines.
Yeah.
Because there's a day when they're going to grow up and they're going to get entangled. And then you may even go to retrieve the fruit, and you know what can happen.
Yes.
And when into a tree,
called harvesting or reaping a fruit.
Right, and then
it's very digital in a retrieve a fruit.
yeah, but then
Yes.
We may be harvested as well.
Yes, because the Grim Reaper is. All right, we gotta stop.
We don't want that. But it's a fact because we've had especially young children going into those trees.
Oh, Lord.
The worst happens. So the thing is, the key is from the base.
Yeah.
Do not plant trees on the power lines that are going to grow to great heights. Keep low foliage under those lines. If you have lines running across your yard, or even the line that runs from the JPS line to your potted, keep low growing things on the line. In fact, you should keep them away. You should really have a clearance of about 25 feet.
On either side?
In total. In total.
Well, that's all
if there's a
mature tree spread.
If there's a line running across your premises, because you want to make sure that there's no contact.
Yeah.
Because what is going to happen is that you can have electrocutions. If there's a hurricane and it gets windy, that same tree is going to become a problem for you. It may fall down on your house. And it may, the branches are going to fall down and tear down the wire. And what it means is that when the rest of the community has power, you don't have power because your wire has been torn down and you need to get somebody to put back that wire for you.
Yeah.
So avoid it completely. But one of the problems we're having is that persons, especially for their fruit trees, they don't want to cut them. And if the trees are on their property, it's really their responsibility to cut them.
Right.
But sometimes we have to cut them too because they are really getting tangled and causing outages as well. And we've had a serious problem with people when we go to limb a tree. Don't want you in my yard and don't come here, leave me alone kind of thing. We're asking you not to let us have that confrontation at all. Just don't plant those trees under the lines. But if they are there,
please allow us free access.
Please allow us free access to trim them.
Right.
And if you do have a tree right now, and let me look at my camera, if you have a tree right now there that's growing out of control, get it sorted out by calling us. If it's already growing around the power lines, call us. Call early. 888-225-5577 and let us make an arrangement for when we can de-energize the line so we can get somebody to cut the tree. But if we need to help you, please allow us to trim.
So I have two big trees that I'm
honestly, we're kind of having a zero tolerance. Give me a minute with that. We're kind of having a zero tolerance approach.
Yes.
We're actually chopping down the tree.
Oh, I know a place where there are two trees. You could just chop them down right now.
They're going into the lines?
Yeah, I would say yes.
Then chop down 2 3 feet that you can use to sell as number.
They're less than 25 feet.
They've reached the 25 feet. Yes.
We can talk later.
Massive trees, actually.
We cut them down.
Yes, yeah, and you know, I said jokingly, but the truth is there are some trees so mature, so big that I wouldn't even know where to get the equipment to tackle that tree, and that is a problem.
To assist maybe those elderly folk who have those
mature trees. Yes, man.
A person with a cutlass or even
a power saw or whatever.
One of those chipper trucks with really
you need equipment. Yes,
but we can assist. And particularly if the tree is likely to encroach on the lines, then we'll definitely assist you.
Yeah.
But the problem is when we're trying to do that and then you don't want us to. No, it's not mango tree for the last 40 years and you never stop me from getting.
My grandmother planted and the slaves used to sing freedom songs under it. Yeah. But there are ways.
That had a heart with loves Minett.
Yes, and keep it in the house.
Frame it and keep it in the house.
Yes.
But let us protect.
Is there some increased application of science and technology to the treatment of these mature trees?
We actually have what's the title? Oh my gosh, I forgot its title. We have
you have a professional
who has a fancy, no, it's not a botanist. What's he called again?
Doctor.
Something with arboreal in it?
He's an arborist.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you, you're so brilliant. He's an arborist. We have an arborist and his job is to find new ways using technology to actually treat the trees. And
yes.
Just chopping down every tree or limbing every tree. He will know whether what pesticide or
what you can do
to put that root to that it not come back at all.
Right.
Or to allow it to to go to certain
stunt
heights
the
and not go any further. He has a number of things, and that's his job.
I compliment you on having such a person.
Yes, an arborist, and he goes across the country. So
and I'm sure Jamaicans are calling him harborist.
As in he's a ship.
No, because we put H on everything.
Arborist.
He's a arborist.
Right. So and he comes up with creative ways. Bamboos, for example, because bamboos go 12 inches per day.
Per day? What?
Per day.
So that's what my son is.
Just keep going.
My son is a bamboo.
Oh, he grows. He's at that age. Yeah. And just to remind our customers, if the trees are already caught up in the lines, don't climb that tree. Keep your children away from them. Don't let anybody touch them, because we've had some really bad stories. And even people coming to source, like a tree on the line, but it was your tree though.
Your tree, my land.
Yeah, and then they come to source, because
they have suffered loss. Okay. It will happen because they have suffered loss. A tree by itself don't electrocute
I heard of a case that happened years before I came to JPS, where we went to cut a tree, and the lady begged us, no, don't let this mango season finish, and then we could come back. And when we went back, she resisted, and we ended up not doing it. They said that they decided to be empathetic and and then something that happened, and
she sued you.
And using our own policy, she won. She won the case, and
that's the value of a lawyer.
Right.
The lawyer is in no way influenced by the lady's
let me say
complicity.
So she begged her not to.
And something happened, and somebody died.
Yeah.
And then she used the policy, because our policy is saying that the tree should be X point away.
Right.
And we had actually gone there and allowed the tree to stay.
Yes. You saw the danger, and you allowed the uninformed, emotional lady to convince you to do something that results in harm.
So we're just asking customers to allow us to trim where it needs to, and allow us to cut where we need to. And for your own safety, don't plant trees on the power lines that can grow to great heights. And at the same time, if you have them there already, manage them carefully.
And make that phone call.
Make that phone call to us, 888-225-5577.
I wrote it down. I'll repeat it at some point. As we go deeper in the season, I think it's something persons need to keep on hand.
In fact, I had a person's meeting yesterday, and they were telling me that they don't think that most Jamaicans are aware. So I was saying, what are the channels that you think we can use to make sure that people get this information? And I was told, I need to come to the dance and give the DJ the information and let him announce it while he's telling people what kind of moves to do. Let him tell them what to do as well. They listen to him.
I thought they were the penny section.
It's become $1.
All right, so we also want people to know that we don't hate trees, because they may think JPS hates trees. And
poor JPS.
So just want to let them know that just in 2022 we were awarded the Corporate Forest Heroes Award by the Forestry Department because of the number of trees that we have planted over the years. We want to plant them in safe spaces. So we actually have a Dr. Hillside initiative that started in 2010 with the Forestry Department. And so far we have planted over 7,000 trees. But we plant them in the places where they can grow freely, and they can be beneficial, and they can be a part of the watershed of the country and do all these wonderful things. Right, but not on the power lines. So we don't hate trees, people. We just want to make sure that they're planted in the right place.
Okay. So before you came, we announced that you would address the matter of flying kites.
Yes, we're gonna do.
And there's one person who wants to know what's a beige kite.
I've just learned when I was a child that a beige kite is a massive kite. It's the biggest kite of all.
Okay.
So I've seen some big ones, but I don't know if that's the biggest one ever.
Aha.
But
Okay.
I've been to
So it has nothing to do with Barbados. Again, asking for a friend.
So.
Oh, I'm teasing you. I am the one who I am the friend.
I've been to
who's wondering what is
the right there.
Oh, by
Chaka, near the area where is that the big man shop is? It's right there.
Oh, in St. Anne. Okay, in St.
I've
Anne.
seen some super size.
Yeah.
So I figure some
and how did you feel about the power lines in the vicinity?
No,
there were none?
Right there. We have the Kite Festival. It's right on the beach. And the kites usually go towards
the water. Yeah.
So there are no power lines there, which is the key thing about kite flying. You want to fly your kite. It's a fascinating thing to do. In fact, not enough people are flying kites anymore. And that needs to be a great thing. I don't know.
You might find the Prime Minister might disagree with you.
And my husband sat down and made kites with their children.
Oh, those kites. Oh, because people are flying many kites on social media. Near some high tension. Near high tension.
Not those kites. I'm talking the one that they put together with the little...
Yes, I think you have to describe it because you're right. Kite flying is a lost art.
And let the wind take it. Those ones. So
it's free flowing Thursday.
So and the kite takes flight.
Yes.
So the point is, don't allow the kites to be flown around areas where you have power lines because they'll get caught. And what happens with children is that when the kites get caught in the power lines, they're going to try to tug at them. So bring it down. I want back my kite. And you tug my kite attached to the power line. That's a no-no. I don't want to tell you what will happen. I don't like to think about it.
So what do they use to make? The kite has a metal frame?
Or? On it. Usually the kite has there are little nails and things on them.
Oh, really?
No,
that's true.
Right. If you want the kite to be sturdy and not get blown away quickly and dismantled up there, because up there the wind is quite rough.
So okay.
So you have to put things on it, and sometimes
that's not paper and plastic.
Really competitive. Remember, people used to put a razor blade on there.
Well, that I thought about the razor. We spoke about that.
Right.
The tail.
So all the things are going to be conductors of electricity. So you get caught up in the power lines. You're in problem. You have to be call an adult to have them attend to that for you.
Or give up on the kite and they cannot know what.
Which means you shouldn't be in the vicinity of the power line. You don't want to lose your kite.
Yeah.
So we're asking persons not to do that. You could have fires as well if any of those metallic
spark
things lines. And then you can have power outages. So you have some communities where people complain about power outages.
So kites for you would be like bird strikes for the pilot, the airplane.
We have bird issues too now. Did you know that? Did you know the station up by JC?
Yes.
Sometimes when people are connected to and have power outages, guess what happens?
The birds poop up on the line?
The liquid from their poop dropping on. If it touches something that's critical, can shut down the power station. Yeah. You're learning lots of stuff when I come here, don't you?
Yes. You know, but birds love power lines.
In some developed countries, they actually cover it with something. We haven't done it because they go there because of the warmth.
Yes.
So that's why you find a lot of them. They're in the substation, and it's fine as long as they don't do anything and it touches a particular.
So do you have signs? No pooping here. No.
We're gonna put one up. Too much fun. We're having too much fun this morning.
The birds understand that, you know.
No, they use pictures.
And give us we'll tell them.
Some outlets of kites, birds. Yeah, but that's interesting that the birds actually
they can shut down and come.
Yeah, well, as you spoke about the kites, I thought that's what the bird strike does to the massive airplane. But now you tell me, yes. No,
I didn't know people didn't believe us. I think the first time we had put out the release, I actually mentioned it. They were like,
blaming the birds? That's that's like the dog at my homework. It can't happen.
But it's true. So we want to just remind
let me see what's happening here.
That it's kite flying time because the wind does whip up a little bit during April and May.
Yeah.
And we want you, there's a wind coming right now in response to my call. We want you to be safe, to fly your kites, but fly them safely.
Yes.
It's a wonderful thing to do, especially daddy and son, to get involved in. Bonding. But don't go in wide open areas where your kite doesn't get entangled. Even in a tree, you don't want your kite to entangle at all. But definitely not for power lines.
Not on the power line.
In a power line, just leave it alone because you don't want to be pulling at it. That's problems for you.
Yeah.
And do I have time for one last thing?
Yes, you do.
Just to remind, since we're into the whole safety thing and power lines, we just want to remind those persons who operate equipment on a construction site. Like, those tractors and those things.
And the boom.
Please make sure that you get certification from the parish council and you create those areas,
the buffer zones,
where you are not near to power lines, because we've had too many of those stories. I remember one in Mandeville about 3 years ago. He didn't even touch the line, but he was on top of the building and he swung around with a piece of zinc. And he just ended up kind of in the zone because it was a high tension wire.
So it's giving us radiating
in the field, and that was it for him.
Oh, jeez.
That was it.
But you see,
he didn't even touch it. And sometimes you see people building houses, like when they were building the first floor, the first level, the wires were up there for a long time, but they never gave it any thought. And then now, you get into a little money and you want to expand and you're going up now. And I've seen people building the extensions upstairs, and the wires and it's right here. And I'm thinking, do they realize what?
But that's ignorance, though. That's not appreciating the physics of the situation. That even like if you go to the gas pump and there's enough light and you see the haze, the shimmer around the nozzle or the gas, you know that if you pour acid in your pool, you see that there is. And this is more, you're in our realm now, the spiritual world, where the invisible, the thing that you can't see, is more potent than the thing you are seeing.
Definitely.
Yeah, so those who know don't know. Like the high tension wires radiate.
And you have that field.
You have a field of energy that is around it.
Stay away from that. So we're just reminding.
Oh my goodness.
Our construction persons, developers, to keep your team safe.
But let me ask you,
if they make contact with the parish council,
I was gonna bring that in.
You need to get this started out. Maybe you can contact JPS to relocate those lines, but because sometimes it comes at a cost. They don't want
to do it, and people die.
For the lines have been running where it is. We're gonna ask you to make it pay
to relocate.
We don't want to cover that cost. So they just go ahead and take a chance.
So you mean I give you permission to run?
In your great grandfather.
I stand in the shoes of my ancestors, and I give you permission to pass your line over my land. And when I am ready to use my land to the height of your line, I must pay you to move it. It sounds like a good joke.
Not a joke.
Not a joke. Because guess what? We would have gone and assessed the situation, and we would have done that because it would have cost us less to go that way rather than going down the road and around the corner. But we would have paid you to go across your premises. We would have had an agreement, and payment would have been made. So we know easement. It's actually on your title, For those who don't have it, on your title, it's easement on your title, which means
I know. All right, let's wrap up on a more popular note, a more appealing note. But actually, the operating of equipment and carrying out construction activities can ultimately result in outages. Yes, and
because
you're looking at
what's with a power line.
Yes,
outages are going to happen.
Yeah, it's like you break a trip.
Right. And along with the fact there's outage with the person as well.
Right, we don't want any outage. All right, we're wrapping up the segment.
Safety.
It is about safety.
When you see JPS power lines, when you think of power lines, avoid them. Let persons who have been trained to make contact with them
do the work.
You don't have anything to do with them. Call us. Don't touch them. Don't go near them.
Well, I thank you for letting it be known that you do care about our safety.
Yes, we do.
Yes, I do appreciate that. All right, let's take our break.
Thank you.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I've ever met. You're simply the best.
Best FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
He's coming back. On a
Yes, indeed, it's redemption time with Apostle Clive Campbell presenting a life-changing, life-challenging message to encourage, inspire, and motivate you towards your destiny. Every Tuesday night from 9:30 p.m. until 12:30 a.m. and on Saturday from 9 o'clock until 10, right here on Bess 100 FM. It's redemption time.
I'm standing firm.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi star?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
You big star. Yeah, man. Respect my boss.
Yeah, try and call cause trust me.
Waiters, Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
What a relief.
Bess 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
Jamaica and the world, you want us back? We are back. The Breakthrough Deliverance Ministry, led by me, the prophet Mark Stewart, right here on Bess 100 FM. This and every Thursday night from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Yes, it's War Room Thursday. Come on out and join us, each and every one, on Bess 100 FM, 100.1, 357 and 9. Come on out. Join me, the prophet, Reverend Mark Stewart, and of course, the boss shot, Apostle Marshall. Come for your healing, breakthrough, deliverance, the prayer, the miracle, the word, the testimony, and so much more. Yes, my friends, Bess 100 FM, Bess 100 FM, War Room Thursday, 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Join us. We are going to lick it.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. I invite you to join us for the Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ radio program with Elder Kendrick Murray, where we stand firm that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. This broadcast is heard every Saturday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. and again on Sundays from 4 to 5 p.m. The church is located at 3550 Pleasant Valley Road here in Mobile, Alabama, in the United States. You may visit our website at sonofgodlives.org or our YouTube page at Minister K. Murray. Or you may call us at area code 251-300-8812. God bless you, and we look forward to you tuning in to the program.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess 100 FM.
Live, camera, volume. Live it up Fridays on Bess 100 FM. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with I, Ibi Lion, each and every Friday. Giving you the better vibes, heard everywhere.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning, and we are in that final segment, the last hour of a wonderful morning. So you know we had to bring a very special treat. It is a special treat because we absolutely love this woman of vigor and integrity and energy. La Sonja, welcome, Mrs. Harrison.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to your viewers, locally and internationally. Yes. Good morning to my teachers.
I hope all of them are listening, although they should be in the classroom doing. If they're listening, all right, they can find us on YouTube. But welcome. You know, we wanted to speak with you again. We will always want to speak with you. I think even when you demit the office, we will want your opinion on things. We noted that you conscientiously removed yourself from the signing of that agreement, which is not sitting well in the craws of many today. And I know, I can tell that you don't take any great pleasure in even revisiting that moment. But seeing what is happening now, we thought, let's just hear how you're feeling with the plight of the teachers, because it is still very active. We should have introduced you, all right, while you're gathering your thoughts, the sitting president of the Jamaica Teachers Association.
Plight of the teachers.
Yeah, which is the plight of all of us, you know. It's just that you are the poster child at the moment.
The plight of the nation.
It's the plight of the nation.
Because the quality education system, in terms of its servicing, is certainly dependent on the quality teachers we retain in our classroom. The compensation review, we await to see the
fullness of it.
Fullness of its impact on the retention of our most experienced teachers. And perhaps just persons who really love the children and want to do But when they look at their own lives, look at their own trajectory and what they want for their own children,
families,
and the basic of wanting to have a shelter over your head, and I think they should be able to, as an educator and a professional in this nation, to be able to at least purchase a solid enough motor car. And if you know where some of us work,
you need
some of our schools.
You need more than a motor car.
You need a solid one to get there. And just generally a standard of living where it is you can divert and give your full some attention to what you are called to do, teaching and learning.
In other words, you're not so stressed worrying about
if you can pay the light bill,
put food on the table, help a student or two when they're in front of you with a need.
To do that, ability, much that we get. But so the teachers' situation is one. I mean, it's quite burdensome because I know, especially the classroom teacher. So let us establish it. There are categories of teachers who you will say they're okay. They can live with what the government, what the compensation,
what has been allocated to them now.
Yes, has manifested for them. But the trained graduate, the class who makes up the bulk of the teaching force,
who carry the weight
what
of
percentage of JT is that it's here? 80%?
Oh yes, we are majority classroom teachers as well. Because think about it, you have 1,010 schools, that's 1,010 principals.
Yes, yes, and it continues exponentially.
And then so your bulk of your teaching force is always your foot soldiers. The persons on the ground on whom you are most reliant to carry out the vision of education on a day-to-day
and the ones that the parents are trusting to treat with the child in a way that is fruitful.
Indeed, these are your parentis. The quote says teachers are parentis loco intenor. So you are the parent. You are the parent in the absence of
the biological parent. Yes, yeah.
And so when it is you have individuals standing before your children, wondering how they're going to send their own children to school. I don't know if we think about frame of
or
mind.
not properly nourished to even have the presence of mind to do what is needed all the time.
Indeed.
Yeah.
You live from payday to week 2. Yes, and so there are
You're borrowing, you're cutting. You can't even practice the good economics that you ought to be teaching the children.
So there is a challenge, and there are some anomalies that needs working through. And one of the things with the transitioning is the lack of transparency. Insane.
So may I ask, because you've been in the belly of the beast, picking over the the parts. I express an opinion to Percival that I see such a great misfit which speaks to matters of integrity. I see a minister announcing that I will do away with allowances that are of obvious value, but you will get so much at the end of the day that you won't miss those allowances. And then I see a call for brisk negotiation to close the deal in an environment where you must know that the data, the amount of the data, the quality of it would not allow persons to get a clear picture of what you are replacing, something they know and understand, what you're using to replace that. And so I just wonder, how does one feel going into negotiations where you can't really trust what is in front of you?
The Lord will cause me to go back to my inaugural speech about a week or two ago, and I was just reading it, and I read and I said, oh, but it's so long we've been asking for the formulas as to how
is this calculated?
What did you compute? What did you sit down and calculate and say, I added this?
What are the factors that went into?
In order for me to get to this that I'm proposing to where you are now.
Yes. So you could test the assumptions
so you can test
and
to see that yes, you are really taken, because
or pick up the error.
The words that were used in the thing was this allowance, or like the transportation allowance, is taken into consideration. What does that mean? The graduate allowance, that's when we do our masters and we get it, and it's taken into consideration. What does that mean?
So your teachers, who are the math geniuses who can create an equation for anything, because everything can be reduced to a number, would be the ones to look at it and figure out, reverse engineer, so to speak, what's gone on. Because I've been saying that the minister didn't by himself come up with these numbers.
They did a study.
Some human being must have sat down and mapped it out and said, if we do this, we will get that, and bingo.
They did a study. Did you see the study?
Yeah, we saw the study.
And there were some problems with the study.
The study, the government chose how it was implementing the study. Because the study talked about the different quartile in which you could decide to transition, because you're always doing the study vis-a-vis private sector.
Right.
That's the benchmark.
Yes.
To see how far or near the compensation package for public sector workers are. In 2008, when we were last reclassified, it was done, a study was done, and government said we can only implement to 80% of the market. We can't give you 100%.
And that's not bad. Yes.
This time, the government said, not negotiated, the government said we're implementing this restructuring exercise at 50% of the market, the second quartile.
So who want to be paid half for 100% of work?
Okay.
So you've been...
yes, that was not for upward discussion. I have moved that I write it. One of the first meeting I went was PE. The minister came on, he was physically in the meeting, and he said, this is not a negotiation, this is a consultation.
What's the difference?
What's between a negotiation and a consultation?
Well, you have to abide by negotiation principles, and you actually
But I would imagine you would consult.
Counter position, and you come to something. When you come and tell me that this is.
But a consultation is the earliest form of engagement. I'm sensing out what you think about this or that, and then I will come to you with something which we would negotiate. But that aside, because we realize that it's not a democratic process, and we understand that. And so but why would you then say, I am making a change which will give you better than what you had before?
As long as you get $1, it seems as if that is better.
Because
as long as you are getting
$1 more,
getting more than what you usually get, it's okay, it seems.
So that's why the question of integrity was high in my thoughts. Do you feel when you're in the room that you are bargaining as equals, or that you are is there that in the room? And I know the answer might be obvious, but
so this is interesting, you know. In 2008, 80%.
Classified, reclassified at $12 billion. And 15 years later, the government want to restructure and give teachers $12 billion.
50% with the same.
15 years later,
with the same 12.
With an inflation rate of how much?
Yeah.
We had devaluating dollar. What was the dollar in 2008? Yes?
Compared to now.
Today.
Yes.
So we certainly have not worked out.
How did you come to the decision to just not be the one to sign that deal? I guess with prayer and meditation.
And it has to be with that. Have a God and a conscience, right?
Yeah. Even if your colleagues were voting for it, you couldn't be the one.
Go ahead, and then I'll make a comment. Because I've been talking to
I talked to too many teachers that if it were not, I would just lie down and roll and just ball with them. You know? There's no.
If they didn't need someone to lead
their struggle and their situation. The classroom teacher.
And you've been saying that you've been consistent, the foot soldier.
But I want to know, Lasandra, did some of those same classroom teachers say, boy, I'm tired, let me just take it?
Everything good for you.
But no. At that point, you know, I've been talking to a lot of friends in church. I have a friend, after 29 years in the classroom, head of department, with her master, she decided, you know what? I'm gone. She's gone to England. I have another friend that says, can you write a recommendation for me?
Oh my word.
She has her master's. She's head of department in that school. She says, I'm out. I can't do this.
Yes.
I can't do this because we can't take care of my mother. She's married.
Yeah.
So those are real, and those people love teaching.
Oh, Jesus.
They are science teachers.
So I have to ask, because we know that is happening and it is traumatic.
The post of special responsibility has been significant. In fact, the entire compensation review has done a disservice to our most senior public sector
and this is where I want
the entire the restructuring,
because it's a policy that is evident in the treatment of
done by the government, so and it is done for different reasons.
Yeah, I must ask you this. We have a recurring discussion here about the low valuation that is placed on human labor in general.
Yes, labor.
In general, money is worth more in the equation than the human input. I want to know, when you're in the room and you are facing other individuals who are placing such a low value on your service, what are the arguments that they put forward to say this is what it has to be? Does it come up at all that you are valuing your fellow Jamaican?
I'm a teacher of history.
Yes.
I remember that.
No, you're protected from whatever the birds might do. You and the mangoes falling.
My conviction, the whole slaves are operating.
Yeah.
So,
They have to up a slightly higher value
and
than the field worker.
The field workers
out of the big house.
In their place and out of the big house. Because
I share that view.
If it is you value people, their service, what it is they bring to the process of churning, the public sector is so critical to any economic macro development, growth, anything you want, you say that you're hoping to attain. It is these people who have to churn the wheels
to make it possible.
To do the processes in order to create that environment in where things change, bureaucracies are reduced, and person work efficiently. And this is how we compensate them. This is certainly not to motivate.
No, because there's a presumption that you're not even aware of your own value. And the people who vote and say, all right, me tired, me will take it, are not aware of their own value.
Unfortunately, there may be some truth to that statement. Because I continue, I remember we had an education symposium on the first half of the conference year, and my theme was the teacher, an irreplaceable variable, know your worth, and that. And it was questioned and saying that don't make no sense, right? Where you got that theme from? And I'm saying if the government needs to know
your value,
how important our teachers are to nation. Is not just to the sector, just nation. If we're talking about, I said to the minister, I said, sir, if you're talking about all your macro things that you say that you want to achieve,
policies,
and if you do not have the human capital which the teachers nurture and unearth the giftings and talents and help to provide that skill set that in order to build on and to build out, then
it will never happen. And you can't import other people to come and do it.
Because
it has not afford to take care of our own.
Process is a
yes,
process that
it's
is
symbiotic.
Independent. It is not one that is over here, you do this and
you move it,
at the expense of that. But
it's
interesting that the school from which I'm coming was opened in 1938 in the labor movement.
The move there.
Yes. And at that time, what Jamaica was like in terms of the work of struggling. But those persons were not educated as we are today.
As we are.
And to think how the worker today has become so docile, and we say we're educated.
But now, you can't say that without a question coming back to the teachers who, as you say, are in the crucible, forming the output that is evidencing such docility and
certainly not my thought.
Yeah. Well, I would dare say we are of a different generation of teachers, but it has to come back. It really has to come back. Yes.
Teachers have to question. It's important.
Yeah. To interrogate their circumstances, their environment. Why is this so? There's a generation out of whom that was beaten. And I suspect
even that beaten generation, those are the questioning generation as well. Think about it. So while it is that we receive a beating, we still had the questions in our mind, and we still were.
But you see, there's always a gap. I mean, as a historian, there's always it skips a generation, because as you are recovering from the trauma, you're not imparting and teaching and so on. And it would be interesting to speak outside of this environment, to map what happens next for Jamaica. You and I both believe in divine intervention, so we understand that it can turn like this, and I think it will, because some of us are putting in the work.
We are praying.
We're putting in the work. And God answers.
He does, because in light of all the legislative changes that are taking place and are taking place so swiftly. No, I certainly don't believe in us languishing laws before Parliament for years upon years.
No.
But I remember when we were going to do that local reform in local government.
Yes.
And there was a process of engaging the people. Why I can remember it? Because I remember going up to one place in Portmore there, up on the top of some place, to participate in a conversation, and I was just an ordinary citizen. And because it was so ventilated, I said, no man, I need to go and hear what this is about. A long time before, so I went to find out what this is about and to participate in the process, because this is going to affect my community.
Absolutely.
It's going to affect. And so if it is, we are doing changes. So the Education Act is under review, the Constitution, how much consultation is being afforded the ordinary citizen, the people, so they can understand what will this mean for
and
me.
give their input. And give their input. And our input is valuable.
Of expediency.
Yes.
It's got to be done genuinely where it is that you allow the process.
Well, let me tell you. What you say? You cannot put the genie back in the bottle, you know.
It's out.
It's out. It's out. Where are we in the conversation? Still many things.
The compensation review, there are several anomalies and discrepancies.
What can we do? Tell us what we can do. How can we be of assistance in pushing this forward? Because as we started the segment, we said the plight of the teachers is the plight of the nation. Make no mistake about it. Let me look in my camera. It is our business, and it requires our input.
Indeed.
All right, we're going to take our break. If you have time, I know you have a 10 o'clock. We'll see if you can come back on air with us. In any event, let them hear me say thank you so much. Not just for the contribution you make when you share your views, but for the integrity you display when you take your decisions. Jamaica could do with a lot more of that. Thank you.
We're just a click away. www.bestfm.com. Streaming live on the internet.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-Time Taxi Service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all, you can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Looking to clean your vehicle super clean? 123 Clean Car Wash, located at 2¼ Osborne Road, Kingston 10. Entrance on Grove Road, below Tropical Battery. They wash and vacuum, undercarriage wash, engine wash, polish and compound, shampoo and detailing. Call them at 876-631-3400. 123 Clean Car Wash, the best in the business for a cleaner wash.
Believe me, it's so easy. I want 2, 3.
Veg Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Haggard Park Road. Veg Printers, your best choice in printing.
Here we are, standing in your presence.
Glory Connect! Glory Connect! Join us on Bess FM with Apostle Prophetess Denise Wellington and Pastor Alicia Gonzalez Morgan. Every Saturday at 4 p.m. on Bess FM Radio. Come out and discover your purpose. Take up that phone and dial now. Call and experience something new. Experience something great. Experience your own expression of encountering the supernatural glory of God's abundant life and transformation being fulfilled. What are you waiting for? Are you depressed, oppressed, worn out, tired, or stressed? Have you discovered your true purpose as yet? This is the moment. What are you waiting for? Connect now to Glory Connection. Call and experience the Word of God, intercession, healing, and deliverance. Experience something great. Receive salvation and breakthrough. Connect. Tell a friend, family, and your neighbor. See you then.
Half a tree. 180, 200. Ready, mama? Ready. Is this the confusion you feel when trying to work your way through medical systems in Jamaica? Try a dose of Ask Dr. Mary every Thursday at 5 to 6 p.m. Let Dr. Mary help you understand your medical problems and bring you to a calmer place.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on BES 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
All right, we are experiencing high fever. Welcome back. Our guest is President of the Jamaica Teachers Association, Mrs. LaSonja Harrison. Most of you know her very well for her very considered decision to allow someone else to sign the deal, which the teachers clearly wanted. For many, especially if you like to study politics, you would have seen in it someone who did not want to prevent her constituents from enjoying their own free will and taking a decision, but also preserving her integrity in not condoning or sanctioning something which she knew would later on blow up. And my, has it blown up. I would like us, Mrs. Harrison, to just talk a little bit about the continued drift. I don't know, drift is a very mild, romantic kind of word.
Drift in education.
No, teachers leaving.
No, teachers
leaving. Every time.
Avalanche.
Don't say it with such hopefulness. It sounds like you're looking forward to it. But teachers, we are still losing teachers, aren't we?
We're still losing teachers. Once upon a time, we've always lost teachers. But it was very seasonal at one point. But at the end of the COVID, and you know, teachers working during COVID, I was shocked when I found out. I said, really?
Such high risk traveling.
Exactly. When I came to university, people, I said, I was just
yes.
at that. But after, you know, especially at the start of the last school year, we saw that we were in a real crisis in terms of the ads, and the ads usually come in May, June, July to fill posts for September, August. Yeah. And may continue until September, October. But we see the ads.
Every Sunday ads.
Every Sunday, yes. I was looking at it Sunday.
And when it is. So we're going to see the true metal of the problem. I went to a seminar yesterday and saw some of my elders, my teachers who taught me. And she said, one of them looked over at traditional high school. She said to me, you can stay there. Oh, tell me which part you went and teacher them for September.
Oh,
it traditional high school.
Yes.
That usually tops up teachers,
treat them
a little based on their resources and support from alumni and all.
Yes.
So, and it's a traditional high school, and she has a headache because she's one of the vice, wondering where will we find the teachers to fill the various vacancies. So it is something that we
and those coming out of teachers college can't fulfill the need because teaching is an art over time. And using the experience.
Who is the mentor? Help those fledgling ones to come into the process
and develop
whether
excellence.
We have a structured mentor process or not. And when you think about it, when you do not usually thrust your newer teachers into the more into the higher grades, you can even try them with one class. And
yes.
You know, based on what you're seeing from them.
And you don't want to frighten them and drive them away too quickly.
Indeed,
if it becomes too stressful.
And get used to and especially the practice of the traditional high school. They don't just thrust newer teachers into their upper
into the cauldron,
into the exam group. And when you think about your most experienced teachers going.
And let's be clear why this is happening, because we've talked about the diminishing value of the experienced individual, but simply put, is it that your more experienced teachers are given the same kind of pay as the newbies coming out? How would you best describe it? So persons don't think that the old teachers want more money because they're old.
Remember, we're paid based on qualification.
Yes.
So that is the basic.
Right.
Yes, but you also had a post of special responsibility where they receive that allowance for the post, and that is calculated 10% of the first point of the scale, of the trained graduate scale. And then they would have received also a transportation allowance. So in the previous dispensation, depending on where they were, you got two monies, and
seniority.
You got that because of the additional duties that you performed.
And those duties come from years of experience and responsibility.
And grade supervisors, these are the glue, these are your middle managers, these are the people who hold school together.
So what happened to that allowance?
That allowance is in retention, but the transportation portion of it has been absorbed. The teacher's not seeing the absorption.
So it has disappeared, no longer visible.
And when you do a restructuring exercise and I'm at the maximum of the scale, and seniority as well.
Yes.
So we had an 11 point, we still have an 11-point scale. You were there, you sat there for 3 years, apply for seniority 1, you got that in then you applied, sit there for 3 more years, seniority 2, sit there for 3 more years, seniority 3. That's it. So those people now have been transitioned to a new wage structure that takes you down to 0.4 of this new scale.
So you're lost. You're at the top.
And when you look at it, was no grand sums, and the more senior you were, the less the percentage at which you transition. The government is going to articulate that they guarantee the minimum of 20% for everybody. So once you get that 20%,
that's it.
You get something. So when you had a teacher who came in the system the last 1 to 4 years, going home with thousands, hundreds and thousands of dollars in that money, and that senior teacher who has been there for 18 years looked at their paycheck, I got stories of people who went, like, literally cried.
So you lost money, basically.
Yeah, so when they looked at it, they're saying, how is it I get this? And a teacher who is just coming into the system, 1 to 4 years, is singing happily, sweetly to the bank, and outside of that, several miscalculations. Some people still don't get no retro yet. They get their basic salary, but they have not gotten a retro. Just last week, over the weekend, I got the report of one teacher at a particular school. The two monies paid in March and April, that person has seen no retro. A teacher I got not last night before, and I sent it to the minister, 30 years in the service, had not been paid up until the 2nd of May. And when they're purporting to say that all teachers have been paid and all of these things.
So are we just outright dishonoring our elders because we're talking about honor? We just outright, we want them to go home and go sit down. That's what it is. It looked that way. Because guess what? The young people are the votes of tomorrow and next election season. So if they're singing sweetly to the bank, they'll remember you on election day.
If you poll so many of those young teachers, they're waiting to do 2-3 years
and migrate. So now what you're seeing is there's no reward for loyalty. There is no honor for the commitment over the years.
Sweat and tears.
Yeah.
Teachers have always been asked to hold strain.
I tell you now.
Hold strain. I remember when we at the MOU and the same President Hall, he doesn't like to talk about it. MOU, teachers hold strain. We can't pay you. Hold strain. You know.
So you hold strain until they dishonor you.
You're doing this restructuring exercise. Yeah. It was the opportunity.
Terrible, isn't it?
To align the teacher's salary. Yes, we know government cannot pay us like what other people getting in foreign based on our economy.
But why not?
You can pay us a little bit.
Why not?
Hold on. How does the teacher with a first degree compare to somebody in the public sector with that same qualification?
Isn't that the 50% of public sector?
No, you have people in the public sector who have
you mean in the I get your question.
I'm a teacher.
Okay.
But different industry, different category, different rules.
In the very Ministry of Education, you have persons who are doing administrative work. They take minutes and picks up something and their pay.
But you understand in this month of celebrating children that when you dishonor the teachers, you dishonor the children. So we don't have no interest in our future.
And so
we've got to rise to a higher ground.
Lip service to education, because a part of one of the things we're lacking is a philosophy of education. They recently drafted one. I get to understand that as an association we didn't participate in that, and it is yet for circulation. It seems to be hiding. I've been asking for it, and I guess somebody was tired now, so they drop it in our space and say, one exists. I said, really? When did that take place? So I see it circulating from somewhere December 2022. But we don't have a philosophy of education. If you don't have a philosophy, then you don't acquire the true cost of funding
to meet your ideals. But may I introduce you to our philosophy of education, enshrined in our Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedoms? And every Jamaican child is entitled to education up to all age school. Percy, tell me that's the age of 12.
Primary school. That is what?
That's the age of 12. That's what we guarantee. So that is our philosophy.
Interesting you said that, because just since week there was a celebration of the 50th anniversary of Michael Manley's annunciation of free secondary and tertiary education. And in my revision of it and my statement, I said I'm disappointed. While it was a revolutionary thought, it didn't go the further step of enshrining it in our constitution.
It's gonna make it in the next one. All right. You realize
we pray for divine intervention.
Oh, it has already been.
And so when you look at the state of education, because we didn't put it there, there is no guarantee.
No guarantee. They're doing us a favor. Doing us a favor. You're lucky you got paid this month. Perhaps you won't be so lucky next month.
Lord, no, that is not.
No, but God is on His throne, and he's in control of His business.
I am petitioning Him. There is something that He still has to do for the teachers of this nation. So many teachers cannot be walking around. When I talked to a principal the other day, he said, "Miss, the principal, me alright, me can live. But when I go to school, I see my teachers. I know what my teacher is. I might as well we didn't get no restructure.
Yes.
And they keep us on the same. Because when I see my teachers, they are not the same people.
But you see, there is something about promising hope and delivering despair that will break a nation. And I think our Minister of Finance, perhaps not intending to do it, has actually done that. And the nation, the people of Jamaica, the parents, me and you out there have to rise up and support our teachers.
Children
so,
is dependent on
yeah,
it. What
the future depends on it.
education system do you want? And if we say we love the children, I saw you show love.
That's how you show love. Yeah.
Your children?
Yeah. All right.
Every time you come, you're so appreciative of your the conversation. And you speak from your heart. Not only from your heart, but from your mind. Because you're a teacher of history, so you understand how the two of them come together. And we really do appreciate you. And I don't know what my co-worker has to say, but I told her, you need to come back because I found it significant. And you came for a lot of flack, and you stood your ground. That we need people of integrity who see what the real issues are.
Before we say our goodbyes, let me just see what our people might be saying here that I need to share with you. Your point about the house slaves caught some attention here. One person says, I am defiant, not obeying the new slavers. I am with you, Fairweather. I'm trying to catch a little of it before we have to take our leave. Taki says, it's good to observe the structure of education system in the East, Japan, Korea, and others as examples in comparison to the colonial system Jamaica is derived from to evaluate where we also go. There is obviously a conversation about what next, what the future should look like. I, like you, complained about the absence of a philosophy which is beneficial to us. And it absolutely. Yeah. I say I have a philosophy in my house, and we've been encouraging listeners, declare the state of your nation in your yard.
That's right.
My child is being prepared to be one that creates wealth and can employ others. That's it. Yeah. He's not there to learn to get a job, which is what is reflected in some of the places.
But our education processes pretty much does that.
Yeah.
And so there are those who are to be skewed off, and they become the leaders and owners of wealth.
And the others are the cannon fodder.
Labor.
Right. And, yes. And the labor is yes. And you know, I've been very concerned that our revenue model as a nation is based on still slave labor, where the workers get nothing.
Yes.
Or, you know, nothing minus. And that continues, and I hear it in your cry. So we'll have another conversation about what happens next, because it's going to change very quickly, and we don't want to be like the dog who caught the car.
I never know what to do then.
And don't know what to do. Yeah, confused.
No, but we will know.
We have to.
Driven philosophy is needed.
Last question. Is the JTA working on a philosophy?
Not because the compensation review has so much of our time.
Yes. Well, I'm planting a seed.
And yes,
I'm planting a seed.
Because it is something that I wrote in my diary that I need to.
We have to.
Yes. You know, and because if you once someone identifies their purpose, you half of your life's quest is
settled,
and all you have to do is to be nurtured to walk in it. And once you identify that, you compete with absolutely no one.
No, because
you need to be like
you're in your lane.
Because you're in your lane. You know what it is.
Yes.
And it becomes stream of income.
And there is a divine promise that the provision is in your assignment. When you're in your place of assignment, the provision manifests. Of course.
Money and all of the things that you need. I've discovered that.
Yes. Yeah. So thank you.
In August, whenever the new print is third week in August, third full week, yes.
I know I did say last question, but you were not interested in a second term? All right, definitely last question.
With the Lord.
But it's beyond that now, because you have a president-elect waiting in the wings. So,
the nature of when you said second term, that usually means you're running again.
You run again. Oh, okay.
That would be
well, you know what? That weight is so great that I can now understand why it's 1 year.
Yes, it's 1
year. Yes, it takes a chunk of energy and time.
It does.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your service, madam. Our children are blessed, and our nation is even more blessed, because I think things will change through what you have set in motion. Yes. All right. We also say goodbye for the morning because this is about time. Thank you on air, online. It's been an interesting morning. Two fabulous women who I believe have stimulated your imagination a great deal. We'll pick up the conversation next week, God willing, when Percival and I return with the Morning Connection. Back at the studio, thank you, Mr. Engineer, and right here, our own producer, engineer, and man of all seasons. Thank you, Mr. Lawrence. Have a great weekend, everyone. Percival, thank you.
And bless you.
Yes.
Thank you.
She tell me in the topics. She asked me what's my name. I tell her I am Connie. And I said, girl, tell me what's your name. And she tell me that her name is Jamaica. And I said, smile, girl, smile. Smile for me, Jamaica. And I said, smile, girl, smile. Ooh, Lord, smile for me, Jamaica. And never you cry, here am I. I'm here for you, Jamaica. Dry your eyes, girl, smile. Smile for me, Jamaica. Lord, hey, she have a rich history. A beautiful woman with the sweetest gifts. Beautiful sunrise and an evening kiss of a nice sunset on the evening season. But she tell me, say she tired of the exploit and the liars. She give them reggae, give them beaches, give them flowers and the ferns. All she got is abuse in return. But I say, don't you worry yourself, mama. Hey, Chronix is here to your help, mama. Ooh, I said, no worry yourself, mommy. One thing me, I beg you do for me. And I say, smile, girl, smile. Smile for me, Jamaica. And I said, smile, girl, smile. Hey, smile for me, Jamaica. Never you cry, here am I. Girl, I'm here for you, Jamaica. What must I try? Oh my. That she asked me, and this I want me say, a sweet, sweet Chronix, you give them the one drop beat pan a rhythm. Are you give them bob with a different step in? Are you give them bolt, nobody can run left him. Oh, but see ya, they must see you say you're out of ideas. You give them art and sweet literature. You're gonna make the world see the better picture. I said, no worry yourself, mama. Chronix is here to your help, mama. Hey, I said, no worry yourself, mommy. One thing me, I beg you do for me. And I said, smile, yeah, smile. Smile for me, Jamaica. And I said, smile, yeah, smile. Smile for me, Jamaica. Never you cry, here am I. And I said smile, boy, you made it,
just bad mind and invalid. In a the place where we grow. In this world where we call Jamaica land. You never link you dead in a Babylon. Crab in a barrel fi tell you how down your sultan. In a place where black man fight against as black man. Need something good. Things could have way better. Give me little encouragement. Let me make a little change. You know better. Need something good. And I need something better. In a them your time, ya me grudge the rock for the cheddar. God know, it's like wood start sell concrete and cardboard box damn cheap. Me no see no better buy again a be a booby nally don't panic cool ground in a the damn street. Me a fi ball anytime when me see them ya thing ya wonder how government sleep. God know me not too kissy but when me see them thing ya me a fi kiss me teeth. Watch and style ya, don't get the use them a dead in a row. Mother blood me see shed in a row. Trim off me car time dread in a row. This streets ready in a row. Don't forget the youths, them a dead and no lie. Can't tell when last me see some tears of joy. Me only see tears shed over people who die. Life fall but man still a shine. But in this world, God know nothing don't pretend. Make me get me visa dog, you know see me. Nothing no day so just bad mind and invalid. In a the place where me grow. In this world where we call Jamaica land, you never